Chris, what's the mood like in the camp this week?
Yeah, it's good actually. Just talking about them, we had a really good session on Tuesday actually. It was quite a lot of intense work, which for me is what Tuesdays should be all about. You normally get a day off after, so yeah, it was good. We had a good sesh. We've had some inconsistent results which we want to put right, and the best way to do that is on the training ground, and Tuesday all the lads are on it, so we go again today and we start working on a little bit of tactical stuff for Luton, and then we go into the game. We've got to go in with confidence. We need a kick start sooner rather than later. I mean, it's still very early days. We win a game now and we're drifting around mid-table then, so yeah, the mood's always good. The gaffer helps out with his banter and stuff, so it's a little bit quieter than it was last year with the likes of Ellis leaving, but yeah, everyone's on it. It's a nice day to go out and train, so why wouldn't you be happy?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess you look at the table, you feel it's the club are in a false position looking at the table.
Yeah, I think I said exactly the same about Plymouth actually. Last year they did exactly the same actually. I think when we beat them they hadn't won a game, and then they went on to not lose for ages, and looking at the players they had on Saturday, I think they're probably in a false position as well actually. So it's like I said, it's way too early to be speaking about a table, and I'll be very surprised if they don't move up the league. They were a decent side last year, and they've still got the nucleus of the players they had this season now, and same with us. Listen, we win a game or two now, and it's everyone's. If you pick up 6 points in a week, you're probably in the playoff area or just behind. So it's not irrelevant, but it's something that we're not really looking at the minute. It's time to just to get winning some games and get some consistency back together.
Yeah, because it's a very tough division anyway, isn't it? League One, isn't it? A lot of good teams in there, so you'd expect it to be sort of like I suppose go through these sort of spells where you win, you have a winning run, you have a losing run. It's just part and parcel of the division in that respect.
Yeah, very rarely. I've played in this league most of my career now, and sort of after Christmas time maybe you get the odd team that two or three teams at the top that sort of start to run away with it, similar to sort of like maybe Wigan did last year and a few other teams like that. The teams that have got the best players and the best wage budgets normally sort of end up at the top, but you get the odd surprise package. You always do in this league. The last 4 or 5 seasons there's always been a team that start really well and then end up sort of after Christmas maybe sort of missing out and start losing a bit of form, but then you get like we did in League Two. I think we had a very average start to the season, but then after Christmas we picked up massively, and I think that's the most important period, is around the Christmas time, and after that when there's games and games and games, you get a chance to pick up sometimes maybe 9 points in a week, and that shoots you straight up the table. Yeah.
From on a personal level, back after your suspension, how did you feel back after that? I guess you were just pleased to put it all behind you.
Yeah, no, it's been a mad few months. That's what I was talking about just after. No, it's been a crazy sort of start since pre-season actually. I missed sort of 2-3 weeks pre-season with an injury, and then it was difficult to get the last 2-3 weeks of my fitness work done, which wasn't ideal, because I was then put straight in against Peterborough on the first game with only training a couple of days, and then obviously the sending off it is what it is. It's not a good thing, but in a way I've had a chance the last 2 weeks. Luckily I've only missed sort of 2 weeks to really get the miles in on the training ground, which I missed in pre-season, which we went to Holland and I barely put my boots on all week, so that's not ideal, and came back and missed most of the friendlies leading up to the season. So I've used the last 2-3 weeks when I've been suspended to really put the miles in on the training ground and make sure I'm back up to that level, and I think I needed that 90 minutes on Saturday, and now I feel that I'm pretty much back to my full level, so hopefully now I can kick on, get a few more goals and really get to that level that I picked up at last year.
Yeah, when you get sent off, when you get a red card, does it give you something to think about moving forward? Do you perhaps change aspects of your game because of that, or do you not tend to think about it in those concepts and just carry on playing as you did? It's just your game after all.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, it's not my game. I've always said, well, tackling and stuff, but that's always been the case for me. Not the best tackler, I'll admit that, but I bring other things to the game, so maybe I should just completely cancel out tackling. And nah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It happens. Happens in games. The adrenaline was going. It was, but literally came on 5 minutes, touched the ball a couple of times, got a pen, scored it. Emotions were running high and just sort of mistimed the tackle. Really, it was probably a lot worse than what it actually was. The geezer got up and took the free kick after himself, so wasn't too much wrong with him. But yeah, that's done now. Like I say, last 2 weeks I've really smashed in the fitness work on the training ground. I now feel good and ready to really go this season.
Yeah, and Luton are next up. What sort of game are you expecting at the weekend?
Tough place to go. That. Been there 2 or 3 times. I think last time we was possibly League Two. I think we nicked a last-minute winner, but they had most of the play. The good atmosphere, actually. Obviously small, quite old-fashioned ground with, but the fans behind that one goal, they sort of suck the ball in, and it is, they get good crowds there, and it's always a tough place to go. So obviously, like I say, we'll start working on the tactical stuff today, and that's something that us as players need to make sure we're ready. Me personally, I like to start doing stuff like that on a Thursday, so what you're coming up against on a Saturday, and then you've got Thursday, Friday to really start thinking about what's going to happen in the game. And I think it'll be a frantic first 20 minutes, and if we can weather the storm then and start playing our own football, then we'll get into the game. And like I say, it's important we try and get some wins.
Yeah, and just finally, with an eye on Luton, I mean, these teams that come up promoted, almost today, difficult to scout in that respect. I suppose you don't know how they're going to adapt early on in this season because of they're fresh to the division, but equally on them as well. They got not so much to lose, not so much at stake. Is that fair to say when teams get promoted?
Yeah, I guess they're not under too much pressure, but then also Luton, for me, it's a fairly big club in this league, so their fans are going to be expectant. I'm sure they always are. They're on a high from coming up, so. They like you say, there's probably not too much pressure on them, but then the fans probably create pressure like they do at this place. So it'd be an interesting game. It'd be a good game, and I'm sure, like I say, it'd be a decent atmosphere, it'd be a decent crowd coming up from Bristol as well. So it'll be frantic. It'll probably be a few tackles flying in, and it'll be fast and furious. And it's up to us to get some composure and put in a solid away performance and come away for some points.
Yeah, good luck, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.